Okay, no set of information.
That's the essence of it. That's what we are going to talk about.
CSV command, which I did last week. The point of first one of all, I will also
ask you, are you to send link for software download to yeah points they still do.
Sorry, it's not that audible. We can't hear you properly.
Who wants to record a movie?
No, they are afraid of sending so that I will not.
Now click yes. So the next point of this thing action now is to, when I go to my Civil 3D, the software, and then I'll go to points. Just like I explained last week, go to points. And I'll click on import point, and I'll import. Just like I said last week, if your Excel folder is open, it shows that there's a conflicting data. So I want to that the Excel folder is closed. Or close is on. And I'll go to file, I'll go to my plus sign here, and I'll select where my folder is, which is this.
Sorry, the audio is not clear.
Then I will now come and select the format in which the Excel folder has been, the data has been saved on my Excel workbook. So I'll select the pen Z. You can see the pen Z, point is still not in level and row description, point level and row description. And I'll ensure that this is checked. Add point to point group is checked.
Once
I click on add point, and I'll give my point group a name.
We can't hear you properly.
I'll click OK. Right. Once I click OK, I'll now click OK. So then I'll now do a zoom extend command. Z enter, then E enter. A zoom extend command. So the next point of corner is to now modify this my points. So as for them not to be as cluster as this. So I'll select the point now. I'll select the point now. Then I'll go to point group properties. So on this point group property, I'll point style. On my basic, I'll click the box that has a pencil sign attached to it. I'll click the box that has a pencil sign attached to it here. The next step, I will now reduce my text height. Let's say 0.5. One of 0.5. I'll give the marker style. Select the marker style. Suit is anyone I can see it's reflecting here on the preview here. And I'll click apply and OK. The next step, I'll go to my point label style and repeat the same thing as well and reduce the text height. This time around, I will do three components. My point description.
It's very difficult. We can't hear you.
My point description, point number, point elevation. So I'll start with the point description.
0.5.
I'll go to the point number 0.5.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Engineer Victor, please.
0.5. Now click apply. You can see the now click OK. Now click apply and OK.
What's wrong with this? You can still stop.
Now click apply and OK. So the next point of call now. Hello?
Hello? We can't hear you.
Hello? Hello?
When it's not finished, okay, no. No, this from go back to that page now. The browser.
Hello. Oh, mute this.
Hello?
Hello. Hello. You can hear me?
We can't hear you.
Hello. Can you hear me now? We heard you, but there's a feedback. Okay, I think we have a problem. We have a real problem. Can you all hear me now? Yeah, you can hear me now.
There's a background noise.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you all hear me now? Hello, can you? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, let me pause this recording. Let's sort out this stuff. So I'll select the last column, which has the row description item. I'll select this, and I'll unselect all, then I'll select the center lines. Select the whole center line. Now click OK. Okay, I'll repeat that. So once I'm done with this, I'll say Control A. I'll say Control C, Control N. I will now paste this on a new Excel workbook. Why am I doing that? Because if I'm to save, if I'm to save on this my Excel workbook too, it will still be showing that the whole data still exists if I save and import the data to my into my CV3D, because it's just like I hid the data. They are still showing that, still displaying here. But I just hide the data. So I have to copy this to a new Excel workbook again and save it in a CSV format limited. So I will go to File, then I'll click Save As. Now browse. And I'll save on my desktop. I'll give this one now TRCL, center line. And I'll save as in a CSV format limited. And I'll click Save. Say yes. So once I'm done now, the next point, of course, is to ensure that this my Excel workbook is closed. Don't save. So I will now go to my 3D now. And I'll go to Points, and I'll click on Import Points, Import. So I will now select this sign. And I'll select for the center, then I'll select the center line data. And I'll click Open. And I'll ensure I select the format which is being saved on the Excel workbook. Then I'll click this one, I'll click Add to Point Group again. Then I'll give it a name again, a point group name. I'll say TRCL. Then I'll click OK. Then I'll click OK. It's not sure that a duplicate point has been detected. Then I'll click OK. Then the point already exists. I'm just trying to do a recap of what we did last week. That's why I'm going faster. Just a recap of what we did last week. I've done all this step last week. So the next point of call now, I will now go to my point group now. This is the point group. I'll go to my point group. On my point group now, I'll now select, I'm having the TR1 and TR center line. So in order to make this the TR to be displayed, I'll select the TR1. I'll right click and go to properties. So in properties now, on my point style, I can try to make this none, just like you're offering your layers in AutoCAD. It's the same thing here. I'll say none. Then my point label style, yeah, it's points, elevation, and description. The point label, I don't want it to be displayed as well. I'll say none as well. So once I click apply and okay, you see that it will now be displaying for me the center line data alone. So this will now enable me to draw my horizontal alignment. So on the issue that I should repeat the surface I created initially, let me just try to do the surface again. I'm adding a new drawing this area. I'll go to points. I will import the points. So I'll say like I'll click this. I'll click T R2. I'll click open. So I'll select the format pen Z. I'll add point to point group. I'll come to this side here now and give the point group a name for this one, the code that I'm creating now. I'll say TR 1.2 TR all points. I'll say all points. Let me call all points. All points. Then I'll click OK. Then I'll click OK. So once I'm done, I'll now type Z, enter, then E, enter, to be displayed on the screen. So to be displayed on the screen. So I will now select the points and go to point group properties. Then I will now modify the point using this. Just reduce the text height. Use 0.5. Just repeating the step I did. I'll give it a marker sign if I choose. Then I'll click apply and OK. Then I'll go to my point label style. I'll reduce the text height as well. So I'll go to component name. I'm having three things here now: point description, point number, point elevation. So on the point description now, I'll select this 0.5. I'll go to point number, change it to as well 0.5. Then I'll go to point elevation and make it as well 0.5. Once I'm done, I'll click apply and OK. Then apply and OK. So on the surface now, I can decide to import to start filtering, to start filtering my data. Filter, import my center line, import where my manhole locations are, import where I have electric poles, and filter the whole data. Then when creating my surface, I have to ensure that the point I select is the whole data. Let the surface be created around the whole area is covered. Let's say I go to point now. Import what? Import points. I select this. I want to import the center line data alone, the one I filtered initially. I'll click open. Then I'll come to select the format, the pen Z format, this. Then I'll add point to point group and I'll give this a name. I'll say TRCL. I'll click OK. OK. You show that a duplicate point has been detected. Please select I'll click OK. Show that the point already exists. So you see, I'm having how many points? I'm having 2 point groups here now. I'm having the TCL and a TRCL and a TR all point group. So if I select this now and right click and go to properties and decide to make this not to be displayed, I say the base none. I change it as well none. And I click apply and OK. You see now it's showing the center line alone for me. So let's say I assume that I've imported the center line all and I want to create a surface around this, around the center line, around that I imported. From to create a surface now, and eventually the center line is displaying on my screen. To create a surface now, I'll come to this side here now, surface. Right click and say create surface. When I say create surface, I can try to give it a surface name, or you can see surface, leave it as default. Just like I explained last week, if you are doing any pipe network, good network, any framework, you only have one surface for them. We can have different pipe, different alignment. But just like an estate road, you're designing an estate road now. You have one surface for that estate road. You have different alignment for them. Alignment 1, alignment 2, road 1, road 2, road 3, road 4. So you have one surface because the surface will capture the whole entire entire layout of that estate, be generated, the coordinate will be generated from the entire layout of the estate. So you have one surface, but you can have different alignment and different, if you have a pipe network, different pipe network, you have one surface for all of them. So I will not select, I can decide to give this a name, or I can decide to give it a name to here, or I'll leave it at default surface. Then I'll click OK. So I click OK, you watch it now, it has now brought down a box sign attached to the surface here. I will now expand the box sign, the first box sign, to take me to the name I gave to it, surface 1. So once I expand this as well, surface 1, they will take me to definition. So once I will now expand my major emphasis of me expanding this thing is to go to where my point group is and add the surface to the point group. So I will now expand the definition as well. I will expand this definition as well. So once I expand the definition, the next point of call, I will now come to this. After I have boundaries, break lines, contours, depth fields, drawing object, edit, point files, point group, and point of view. So my main point of call is to go to point group. I will go to point group here. So on this point group now, if I select the point group, I will right click and say add. So now I want to create my surface now. See, I'm having TR here, the center line, I'm having the all points. So when creating your surface, you have to ensure you select the whole data, not the one you fitted to create the surface. So because the one you fitted is still within the whole data has the data still captured in it. So you select the whole, so let the surface be created around the whole area the surface covered. So I will now select this TR, all points, and I'll click apply and OK. So you see now the surface now will now be created around the whole area the surface covered. So in order for us to ensure we see why this area has been the surface has been created on this area like this, I will now collapse this my surface here now. Then I can now go back to point group here now, expand my point group, and select the whole point, and right click and go to properties. So when I go to properties now, you see my point style and my point label style is showing none. It's displaying none. I will now go back here and change my point style to basic, to initial way it was looking initially. So I'll change to basic. In my point label style, I will change it to point, elevation, and description. So once I click apply and OK now, so you can now see why this surface captured why the surface was created around this boundary. You can see these are my TBMs, temporary benchmark the survey establishment when carrying out this data. So it was created around the whole area, not the fitted one. So if you see this one now, I select this and go to properties as well. And I change this to not to be displayed, say none, and this one as well, none. And I click apply and OK. So you can see now the center line that I still within my surface, still within the data I captured. So if I'm done with this, the next point of corner is to now go to I've done point, we've done surface. Then let's now go to alignment. As you say, alignment are basically series of coordinate lines or curves used to represent center line of road, sidewalk. Alignment can be used to represent the center line of a channel or a stream. To create alignment, we click on Home tab, create design panel, alignment menu bar, and an alignment creation tool. So I will now go back to 3D now. So the next one, of course, is to create my horizontal alignment now. So in doing that, you can see this is my surface created, and I have contours here displayed on this display here. So to do that, I can now say, okay, I'll select my surface now. When I select my surface, if I press the escape key, you can see my tab, my home tab is showing points, all these items are displayed here. Once you select an icon in Civil 3D, it will on display that will display all the properties that are assigned to that particular element you're working on. Let's say I select surface now. If you watch, that's changed here now. All these things are here that are things I can use, that I can be able to use to edit This is my surface here now. You can see to work on this, you can say I'm having surface properties here now. Go to surface properties now. Or surface properties, I'll now come to surface style. You can see we have contours, 2 meter and 10 meter background. So I'll now come to surface, I'll now say, okay, no, I don't want my contours to be displayed. I want only my border to be displayed. So I'll click border only. I'll click apply and okay. So why do I want my border to be displayed? So this is my border now. This border, I want to be displayed. If I'm done, peradventure I'm done drawing my horizontal, and peradventure I mistakenly goes outside the border like this, like I'm drawing my horizontal alignment, like I pick a line now. I want to draw my horizontal alignment now. I want to draw my horizontal alignment now. And I goes like this, and I make peradventure goes outside the border. So on my profile, that's my vertical alignment, to be on the grid here, to see that at this point where the line goes outside the border, it will show that there's no value capture. You can't see the existing graph value will be displayed there. All those places will be showing blank values. So your alignment must be within the border. If you're doing your alignment, it must be within the area the survey you covered, within the surface created. It must be within the area. So anything outside the area on your profile, those places will just
Sorry, the audio is off, please. I cannot hear Engineer Victor any longer. Is it the same with everyone?
We can't hear you anymore.
So I think the audio is off now. It's off.
Engineer Victor, we can't hear you.
let's say road 1. Let's say, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Let's say
we can hear you, but you may need to go back to how to create an alignment. We lost you.
Okay. So on the alignment now.
So when you come in here, we've imported the points. We've played around with the points. Edit the points. Turn off forward. Now we created a surface. A surface is like a boundary condition. It means anything you walk outside the surface is unaccounted. Then the next thing now is now to create the physical horizontal alignment. There are 2 alignments to be created: the horizontal one and the vertical one. So the first one is the one the horizontal one. So that's the one we're creating now. The vertical one will come in form of a profile. So that's the step 3, alignment creation. So let's go.
So to create the alignment, that's like what I was saying initially, based on our slide we're using. Our slide here. You can see alignment. Alignment are basically series of coordinate lines and curves used to represent center line of road, sidewalk. Alignment can be used to represent the center line of a channel or stream. So to create alignment, we click Home tab, create design panel, and alignment menu bar. So just like what I was saying initially, I said if you create alignment, there are 2 ways you can create alignment. There's a way you can create it automatically using the software, or there's a way you can create it using a line and then convert the line to an alignment. So that line, the way you use your line is that you can draw a line, trace a line, hit a line, connect them together, transfer trim, make them connect that you're going to have target meeting at the point where we have a curve to paper road. So you can use the line to get the best fit of your alignment. Then after I don't using the line, you cannot convert that line to alignment to make it easier. Or there's a way you can set it automatically from the software. This one is also one click away. Once you click and drop, you put in the curve for you. The curve for you. So you can't play around. You can't play around with that one. But if you're using a line, you can play around with your line and get the best fit of your alignment that you want to be duplicated. So let me show the first one. The first one now is to, based on our slide, they say if you go to home tab, create design panel, you can see the whole of this is the create design panel here. So you can see alignments here now. Then we'll create alignment creation tool. So this alignment creation tool, once I select it now, you can see it has not given me this now. The window and the dialog box has been, now the create alignment dialog box will now be displayed. So you can see alignment now, have alignment here, the name, center line, description, then we have none, propose, and all, and labels. So to do this one now, how do we go about it? Select, we give the alignment a name. Let's say I'm working on this alignment 1 or road 1, anyone. Let's say alignment 1. I'll give it a name. Then if I give it a name, I'll now come to this design criteria. I'll go to my design criteria here now and check if I'm designing for a federal highway road, I'll impute the speed to be 100 km per hour based on the manual stated on the federal highway road. Then the minimum radius for ASHTO, you can see 4% the radius. So based on what you are designing for, based on what you want to design for, you go to the federal highway manual to give you a guide on this criteria for your design speed and all. So if you see this one now, let's say I'm using a criteria-based design here now. If I click on this now, I cannot be able to impose my maximum fuel elevation, my maximum fuel elevation. Let's say I'm using 4% or 6% or 8%. It's based on the manual, so let's say we're using 4%. So I'll click this. We're designing a federal highway, so I'll use at 100 km per hour. The next step, for the next point of corner, I will now click on this alignment label set. You can see I'm having an alignment label set here. I'm having an alignment label set. I will now click on this box that has a pencil sign. So why am I doing this? If I click on this now, I will now go, this will now take me to a place where I can be able to edit my major stations and my major changes and minor changes on my label tab. So on this now, you can see my major changes. So let me leave this first. Let me try and create the alignment. Then we'll now edit it. So I will now click. So I'm done with this. I will now click OK. I will now click OK. So once I click OK now, it will now take me to this alignment layer tools here. So this alignment layer tools here now. Once I come to this side here now, see I'm having this now. I'm having straight, no curve. That is a tangent without a curve. A tangent with a curve. So I will select a tangent, a straight, a tangent with a curve. What this entails is that if I'm having a tangent, I'm having a curve that translates to particularly to impute a curve for me there. The curve I'm trying to input. So if I click on this straight with the curve, and I click like this now, I will do this one outside the screen. I see that this one is an automatic method. I won't do it on my alignments. So if I click this, watch this one, if I click this like this now, I'm going. You can see there is no way, there's no point for me. I can just go, then I go. So this is an automatic method. It creates that. If I click enter now, it creates that alignment for me automatically. This is an automatic way of creating alignment using the alignment tool bars in Civil 3D. So this is the first method of creating alignment. Once you click drop, you click drop, it takes you. It will impute the curve for you automatically. So the next one I will show you now is the way that you can use your line to create the alignments. So how do I go about it? I'll pick my line here now. Since I'm using this line, I'll pick a line. Once I pick a line, I'll now say okay. I'll now click on this my Google point here. Then I'll now go across my point and take it down. And say okay, so I'm going like this now. I'll say okay, fine. I'm going like this now. You can see where my line goes out from here. I can click here now. I'll now drop this here now. I can drop outside here. Like this, I'll click out and drop. I'll now escape. So once I'm done with this now, I will now come. I'll now pick a line again, a line command. And I'll pick at this point now. And I'll take straight. I can go straight and I can drop like this. Somebody might ask, okay, why am I not, why am I not clicking at this point? I click here, click, like I pick a line like this now. I'm trying to connect them like this. Pick a line. I click. I click. I click. The question may arise, why am I not tracing the line? Why am I not clicking at the point where the line intersects? Just like what we based on our iteration, if you're designing a road and you're clicking at a point where two lines meet, what that entails that you're introducing a curve at that point. So if you're designing a road based on how you manual, you're expected to go at least 750 meters or let's say minimum of 500 meters before you can put a curve on a road. So now you're not expected to put curves at close range. Let the curve be at a longer distance. Then let the curve be at a longer distance. So if I'm clicking this like this now, I'm going like this. This is what I'm doing now, like this. Once I'm converting this point now that I'm dropping now into alignment, the software will see that this point I'm creating is like a tangent meeting at a point. Do not try to put a curve mid-here. So to say I'm having multiple curves at short interval, short distance. So in Civil 3D, if you are trying to do your alignment, I got the principle of what do they call a line of best fit. Once at least your line, if you're doing your line, once at least this like I see the way I went, at least the line can go 3 points. Because when we're practicing our simultaneous, those things with the simultaneous graph equation we did in secondary school days. Approach your line, the same principle adopted in Civil 3D. Just trace, take it at a longer distance. At least let 3 or 4 points purchase the line, you are good with it. But if it's a situation you have a critical curve, where you have curve that you can't avoid it, you just have to put a curve there. Like if you see this place I came for, this place here initially I came. If I go like this now and go down straight, you can see it's going outside the cocoa point center line, the center line. So I have to ensure that this point, when you transit to this side, see that at this location here, I'll have what? I have a critical curve here that I can't escape to take this thing to take this my alignment from here to meet at this point. So there must be a critical curve here. So when you are designing a road, once you see the survey data, once you import it, you know the point where you have critical curves that you can't avoid it. You have to put those curves there. You have critical curves that you can't avoid those curves. There must be curves there. But if the place that once you go straight, you can avoid it, you can try to avoid it. But if the critical curves, or based on the survey data which the surveyor generates and brings, we know where the critical curves are. So at this junction, I will now take out this. Then the next point of call, I will now do what? I will now do an extend command. I'll go to extend here now. I'll say extend. I'll select this my line. I'll say right click and I'll extend this to hit this. Once I extend this to hit this line, I'll now come. I'll now say trim. I'll trim this line off. So I'll trim this off now. Once I'm done trimming this now, I'll now select this and I'll delete this. You can see now I've now created what an alignment here now. So I will now come this as well. Try to come and end my line where this ends. So I will now come, I will now say trim. I'll trim this as well. So I'll select this. So at this junction, I've gotten this is three tangents and this is a tangent hitting. I will have a curve that will transit this road, that will make a smooth transition from here down to this side. So you can see now I've used my line. So that's how if you're having a longer distance, a longer road, now you're using your line to play with it, adjust, trim, extend, adjust, and come out to the perfect alignment, perfect route alignment that you want your road to duplicate. So if you're done with this, now the next point of call now, if you're dealing with Civil 3D now, the next point of call, if you use a line first, the next point of call is to convert the line to a polyline. A polyline. There's a command in AutoCAD we call p-edit that can use to convert this line to a polyline. Or I can try to come, okay, if I want to convert this line to polyline, I can try to come and I'll select this line now and say, okay, this is the line. I'll right click, and I'll go to properties. And I can come to my color layer and give this one maybe a different color, yellow. Once I give it a different color, yellow now. So I'm having multiple lines that can be snapping. I can now do match property and match them. So that at every point I'll be able to see where the line intersects, where the two lines meet. So what will I do now? The next point of call, I will now go to polyline. So I'm working on the same layer, zero layer here now. I can just go to a polyline or polyline like this. So I'll click a polyline. Because when I click a polyline, I will now come and select the starting point of this line. Then I'll go to select where the line intersects. Select here. and select here. And when I select, I'll click escape. So you can see that it does not convert this. So once I click on this, now I see it's not a whole entity. If you're doing a role design, we use make paraventure. You're using your line now. The difference, I'm using a line like this now. You can see that the difference is that this line, the difference between a line and a polyline, it sees the line as different entity. If I'm using a polyline, once I click on it, it sees them as a one entity. It sees them as a block. But once it's a line, it sees them as what different entity. So if paraventure, if I'm using this line now, like let's say this is my alignment now, and I try to convert this. I try to convert this line to an alignment now. This will just run from here and stop at here because it's seen this place as a different entity. Because seeing that they are not properly connected, seeing that this is a different line and this as well is a different line. So that's why we need to ensure we use a polyline and trace across the line. Trace across the line like this. So once you click now, you see that it is now converted to one entity. So once you apply your alignment, you convert this into alignment, you now start from this unit down to the end of the alignment. So that is the essence. The first point of call, use your line to shape, trim, extend, and get the perfect root alignment. Once you are done with that, now you can now give them different colors, like where the intersect, give this one a color, then start matching the property of that color to the other so that we have different, so you can be able to snap at those nodes where they intersect. So I'll now go and start tracing at those intersection points where they meet. You can convert them to a poly and select them and make them to be a polyline. So once I'm done with that now, the next point of call now is to now, so I'm done with this now, you can see this is a polyline now. The next point of call now is to now go to alignment here now. I'll go to my alignment now on my create design panel now. Then I'll say create alignment from objects. You can see this line I just drawn. I've seen it as an object here now. The line I just drawn, you see it as an object. So I will now go to alignment, create alignment from objects. When I select create alignment, it's asking me to select first line or select a polyline. So if it's a polyline now, I'll select the whole line now. You can see. So I highlighted the whole lines. So the next one, of course, I will now say I will now press my enter key. So this enter key that is showing now, you can see an arrow sign display here. If parameter my alignment is my change, my 00 change is starting from here to this side, I'll click enter to accept it. But if parameter I'm starting my change from here to this side, I will not click reverse. So to start my 00 down to this side, down to the end here, from here to here, I'll click a reverse. But if the arrow sign is showing that the arrow sign is showing here that my change will start from here, my 00 will start from here to the end. I'll now click enter to accept. So let's say I accept, enter. So to now take me to that create alignment from object dialog box. So at this junction now, I'll now give my alignment a name now. So okay, alignment 2 or alignment 1, anyone. So I'll give the name, then I'll now come and go to general, the design criteria, which I've checked. I'll leave it at default. So I'll go to general, non-proposed. Then I'll come to this. You can see this, on this my alignment label set here now. It's showing what no labels. What it entails that if I create the alignment and no labels will display, that is my changes, my point of curve, point of tangents, all those values, they will not be displayed, don't be displayed on the alignment. So I will come to this and change it from no labels to major, minor, and geometry points. Major, minor, and geometry points. So I'll click on this now. So once I click on this now, the next point of call now, I will now go to this box that has a pencil sign attached here. So if I click the box that has a pencil sign attached here, I'll select it. So it will now take me to labels. On this labels, I will see now having major changes, minor changes, and geometry points. So my major changes is showing parallel with T. What it means that if this line is, if I'm having a straight line like this, straight line, my changes will be parallel with it. But I'll come to this side, I want it to be, if I've seen a road design drawing before, let me just, I want it to be perpendicular with a tick. So I will come here now, select this one that has a small box that has a finger. To pick a label style, parallel with a tick. No, I want it to be perpendicular with a tick. I'm having a tick, let the change be at perpendicular with a tick. So I'll click perpendicular with a tick here. Then I'll click OK. So the next one, my major changes, I'll incremental station, I'll make my major changes, let's say 20, my major should be at 100 meters. The minor should be at 25 meters. Or major 50, minor 25. So if you have seen the Infralab, the major ones are normally at 100-meter interval, then the minor at 25-meter interval. So I will click apply and OK. So the next point of corner, I will now impute my default radius here now. So this will be based on the federal highway manner that you are using, 100 km per hour, maximum elevation 4%. They will now go to that table and trace and impute the radius. Based on federal highway, the minimum radius is 300 meters. So I'll impute a radius of 300 meters here. So I will now click OK. Once I click OK, you can see that that's now converted this line to what? An alignment. Show me my what? This is now my beginning point, chain it 00. This is now my what? Point of curve, where my curve starts from, and point of tangent, where the tangent starts from, and continue to be straight, and it goes down. So this is how the changes. So this changes here now is the one that one I changed. Is showing that change from parallel to perpendicular to tick. You can see it's perpendicular with the tick now. If it's parallel, to be like this, to be straight like this, with the tick, to be straight. I want it to be perpendicular with the tick. So this is now the alignment I've created now, using create alignment from object dialog box. So you can see this one now. This one I did here now. This one is not this one I did initially was the automatic way of doing it. You just pick alignment, create alignment creation 2. You click OK. Once you click OK, you come to this point and you say straight with curves. It's an automatic method that once you are clicking, you are dropping, you are going. Automatically, it's putting alignment, it's putting the curve for you automatically. You can see it's putting the question. This one is showing what? This one is what? Parallel with the tick. But I changed this one here now. This one I did to be what? Perpendicular with the tick. So this is the tick here, and this is the label here, the change perpendicular with the tick. And these are the 20. This is 300, 325, 350, 375, and 400. So at 25 meter interval. This is 325, 350, 375, and 400. So at 25 meter interval. So you can see this is now our alignment now for our road now. This is now our horizontal alignment that if you are taking an aerial view, this is what you will see on the ground, the vertical alignment. The vertical alignment is when you cut a section and goes down, you see the vertical alignment. That is when you see the cut. So if you are done with this now, the next point of corner is now for you to create your alignment offset. That is your carriageway of your road. If having your road, indicate it showing the alignment offset. So how do you go about that now? Select this now. You can use an offset command to do it as well. You can also go to offset here now. Where's offset here? You can go to offset here. Offset here. Offset. And if I go to offset, I'll now type, okay, I want to offset my carriageway now. Say 3.65. I'll now go, I'll say 3.65. Say 3.65. I'll click enter. I'll now offset this my line now. 3.65. 3.65. Let's say it's a new carriageway. I've gotten this. The next point, if I'm having a drainage line, I'll now come with a walkway. I'll come and say offset my walkway. I'll now say offset. I'll put a distance. Let's say I'm having a walkway of 1 meter. Enter. I'll come here. I'll click enter as well. Then the next point of call now, I'll now say I'm having a drainage now. I'll click this again, drainage. Let's say 1 meter. Enter. 1 meter. Enter as well. So the next point of call now is now to offset my right of way, showing my right of way for my drawing. I'll now say okay. I will now go and I'll say offset now. Right of way. So based on the federal highway, the minimum distance for right of way should be 25 meters. Both ways. So I'll now say 25 meters. 25 and 25. So I'll now have this now showing my horizontal alignment. This will not duplicate it here now. So the next point of corner, I will now come, okay, based on my legend now, okay, if someone should pick my drawing and say, what does this line duplicate? I'll now come, I'll say, okay, let this and this. I will select, let my carriageway, go to properties and change it to maybe a blue color, my carriageway. Then I'll come to this side here. I'll come here and say, okay, let my walkway property, let my walkway be displayed with maybe a yellow color. Then my right of way. Then I'll leave that one to the other one to be the drainage should be white. Then my right of way now, I'll leave this, I'll change this, okay, let this right of way now. It's normally displayed using a broken line. It's normally displayed using broken line. I'll now select, I'll go to properties. Then I'll go to, I leave it default layer white. I'll go to my line type and change it to center line using a broken line, center line X2. And I increase the scale to, let's say 10 to make it displayed on the screen. You can see now. So these are to now display. So this is a typical road drawing. So on my legend now, I'll now indicate this broken line represents what? My right of way. The yellow one, distance of right of way, 25 meters from the center line. Distance is 25 meters from the center line. Based on both ways, 25 meters, you have enough. That is like 25 meters from center line, right? The right side. Sometimes the minimum distance is 25. The minimum is 25 from the center line. Minimum 25 from the center line of your road, 25 meters. So this one will not duplicate for my carriageway on my legend. This will duplicate the drainage, and this will duplicate my walkway, and this will duplicate my drainage. Why did I use this now? Okay, I use this one now. I use this now. Why did I use? I use this so that when I'm showing my, what do they call it, my plan and profile drawing, you can be able to see, you can be able to duplicate this and this, and know that this is the carriageway. This is my, what do they call it, my walkway, and this is my drainage. There's a way you can do this offset automatically. It's 3D. You can do it automatically. Like now, if I'm doing my road now, I've gotten this coordinate now, like this line I was drawn now, I will import the coordinate now and send it to the software. The software will now use it to plot, to set out. Let's say I want him as well to set out the extent of my carriageway, my drainage, where my drainage is, and my walkway, to set out everything to go perfectly well. So I will now use the offset command. I'll use the command in Civil 3D called alignment offset. That's the one I will use now for doing that. But why I did this is because that alignment offset, it normally comes as a block. Once you edit, you match like you edit a line, now it will take the same color all through. The editing doesn't have to, you take the same color all through. So to do that one now, I will now say, okay, I will now come to this idea now. I want to get my alignment and generate the coordinates that the surveyor will use now in setting out the road on ground for me. I'll now say, okay, I'll now say, okay, this one's allowed it. Now let me do a save as now and leave this one. I'll say save as. Let me do a save as now. Save as. I'll make this one, let's say. And I'll click save as here now. So I can now decide to say, okay, let me take out this offset I did initially. And I want to take my command to create an alignment offset. I will now go to what? I'll go to alignment here now. I'll say create offset alignment. Create offset alignment. So if I'm creating offset alignment now, click create offset alignment here now. Then it asks me to select an alignment or press enter key. So what this entails is that if I should press enter key now, like this now, to say it has given me multiple alignments that I've done. Because this with 3D, if I'm creating an alignment now, it does a next count. But see that those one I did initially was seeing them as alignment 1, 2, 3, it's counting them. It's counting them for you. So what will I do now? Select the alignment that is active, which is that alignment. I use the click OK. So I click OK now, you can see on this alignment now. On alignment 2 now, you can see it's showing me what? Offset name template here now. On this offset name template now, on the offset name template, you can see my start change is 0 and the end is what? 0 plus 739. 700, let's say 740 meters length of the road. So you can see, so on this my offset template here now, I'll select this now. I'll select the whole of this now. I'll give it a name now. I'll say CW. CW, my carriageway. That's what CW stands for. Say carriageway. On this carriageway now, I'll now come to this side and say incremental offset alignments. You get now incremental offset alignments. You're showing that I will now say let's the left side be what? 3.65. And the right 3.65. 3.65. And the right as well should be 3.65. Then I'll click OK. You can see automatically it has now do what? An offset from automatically from here. As I've said, they go the left and the right. So the next point of call, I will now go to alignment offset. I'll go to alignment again and create alignment offset as well. And I'll select the alignment, press enter. You can see that it has not created that many alignment. I have carriageway 1, carriageway 2. If I'm taking my reference point from here now, let's say let me take my reference point from this alignment as well again now. This now. And I'll click what? Okay. So you can see now, I'll not use one now what? Walkway. Walkway. W. Let's say walkway. So the walkway now, my incremental share now will now be what? Since I'm taking it from center, will be now be 3.65 plus 1. Where I'm going to, if I'm going by 1 meters, I'll not say 3, I'll not make this one 3.65 plus 1, which will give me 4.65. So I'll make this one now 4. This one as well, 4. And I'll click OK. So you can see now that it is taking this. I've taken my reference point from year to year, 4.65 for my drainage, left and right. So the next point of call, I will now go say, okay, alignment offset again. I'll go to alignment. I'll say create offset alignment as well again. Then I'll select and I select or press enter key. I'll select this again. So if I want to take my alignment from here now, let's take my walk from my walkway now. If I take from my walkway, I click OK. You can see my walkway is showing what? 4.65, and I'm going what? 1 meter. I want to add this plus 1 again. This now will now be what? 5. This will now be 5.6. This will not be 1. This will be 1, I think so. Now click OK. So you can see it has done for what? One side. Because I selected one side. I selected what? One side. So if I want to do the alignment offset as well again, I'll go to alignment, create alignment offset, offset alignment, enter. You can see. You see, this one did for 1. So I'll go to alignment offset, create alignment offset. I'll press enter key and select the alignment I'm using, this center one like this. And I'll add this. 5.65.
Excuse me, please. The other participants need to mute their mics. They're interrupting.
We can't hear engineer again.
Engineer Victor, we cannot hear you.
Engineer Victor, we can't hear you again, sir.
Can you hear me now?
We are back now. Is network? Yes.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. We need to
Yes,
go
sir.
back.
Read the alignment information from the tools.
Let me go back. Let me go back. let's say, okay, this is my road now, my line that I have here now. This I want to execute and give the surveyor the center line data that those work on. Let him go and set out the road. So I go to towards there now, go to a line, go to town, say incremental change. All right, click and say execute. For this execute, I want the alignment to create for relate this. I want the early alignment to create for me because there's an alignment I'm working on. I'm not working on alignment one. I'm working on alignment two. And I'll see the incremental station. Let it be at 25 data interval. So I'll say create report. So once I generate this report, I will not send this report I'm creating now to the square. So I will not use this and set up my center line, the center line data of my road. So we now use this to set out, make them at 25 data interval, put the coordinate and the instilling the note and use this and set out the road for me. So this is for the line for the alignment itself. So let's say the one I did initially now. Let's say I want to create an offset alignment now. I want the surveyor to also set out my right hand side and my left hand side of my road. So I will now go to this offset alignment now. I go to alignment. I go to create alignment from offset. I'll press enter and select this alignment. Like since I'm having alignment one, alignment two. So it's the same thing. If you're doing any stage now, you have multiple alignments. So you select the one you want, the one you're working on. You select, you have road 1, road 2, road 3, road 4, road 5, road 6. So if you're working on road 1, you select the ones you're working on. So I'll click this now, click OK. So I click OK, I'll now come and say, okay, my carriageway. There's my carriageway now. Let it be 3.65 left, 3.5 right. So I'll not click what? I'll click OK. So you can see that now I've put the right and the left for me. So I will now go to this my report now. So I want to the report. I'll come to this and say incremental change. Right click and say execute. Once I say execute, I will now come, okay, I want to check this. I want to check this, and check this, and check this. And I will now generate these two coordinates, a CW and CW2, the left and the right. I'll impute the station to about 25 meter, and I'll say create report. So you can now see this are the coordinates that you now use this coordinate to set out the left hand side and the right hand side of my road as well for me. So these are the coordinates for the change, northern, the eastern, and the tangential difference. So you now use this one to set out the right and the left hand side of my road coordinates as well. So likewise, the same thing for my drainage as well. Let's say I'm having my drainage, where my drainage location now are. Let's say I'm having for my drainage, where my drainage locations are. I will now go to this side as well. I'll go to this alignment again. Go to alignment offset and click enter to select from alignment list. I will take my reference from the center line. I'll click OK. So I'll now do what? I'll now say 3.65 plus 1. So I'll input it to now be 4.65. 4.65. Now use down as well to 4.65. So I'll now click OK. So you can see that it does not brought out my drainage location. So at this point, I can now go and say right click, execute. So I will now go and I will now select, I will now uncheck. I will uncheck this, uncheck this, uncheck this, uncheck this, uncheck these as well. I didn't check the initially. I know that this is true. So I'll now click create report. So this is now, we will now peg this, using this peg and peg for my drainage location where the is being located 1 meter apart from this to peg. So from there I can start my excavation. So this is my coordinate for the location. I will now generate this coordinate and send it to the surveyor. The surveyor will now input this coordinate on this, whether it's differential DPS or TASOS or total stations, or I now use this and start setting out the road for me. Setting out my road corridor, my entire road corridor for me. So this is how you go about creating your alignment. These are the alignment. These are how you go about creating your alignment. So if you are done with this now, the next point of corner is now based on our slide here is to now go to what? Profile. Say a profile is used to represent the terrain that are along and horizontal alignment.
So at this point, I think we've done 3 sections: point importation, we've done surface, and we've done alignment. I'm thinking we should give ourselves 10 minutes. For those who have the software, my challenge is that some of us don't have the software, but those who have the software, you have 10 minutes to import your data, do the profile, and do alignment using either alignment offset 2, or you draw a line and convert it to an alignment. So let's give ourselves 10 minutes. So this is 10:26. By 10:36, we'll continue. It's also an opportunity for some of us to ask questions. Those who don't have the software, who don't have anything, ask me questions now, maybe on the WhatsApp group. Those of us that join us for this class only, I'm having problem adding us to the WhatsApp group, because the WhatsApp group is meant for the infrastructure sets, people who have gone through the infrastructure class, which is a tripartite course module covering water, sewer, stormwater, and then finally road. But I will know what to do, whether to add us or not, about five of us or 6 of us. So gentlemen and ladies, let's take 10 minutes now and play around with the thing. Okay, I know that at the end of the day, everybody's going to watch the video and do it on your own, but let's do it on the fly. Thank you. So 10 minutes, please. You can still ask question. How do we set the horizontal alignment for dual roads? Okay, that question will be answered. Noted. When we resume, we're going to talk about it. When you mean dual roads, is it dual carriage you're talking about? I think what you need to do is to start with the median. You're set from the median. Okay, when we're doing corridor, you also see what needs to be done. Okay, dual carriage. Okay, that will be answered. Okay, that's a good one. Any other question? Just ask your questions. Well, the 10 minutes have started running already. Import your data. I'll be talking just to remind us what we've said. Do the points. Save it in Excel. It has to be in CSV. And after you saved it, you so what I did after we're done with alignment was create my profile. So I'll go to profile here now. Then I'll click create surface profile. Create surface profile. When I select create surface profile, it takes me down here now. So you can see the alignment selected here and the surface checked here. So I want to show that this is checked. So I'll not select the alignment that's active. If for example I'm doing a road design, I'm having different alignments. I will select the one and imagine them together. Alignment 1, alignment 2. They have different profiles. Don't have the same profile. They have different, but they have different natural ground level. The distinct line is different. So I'm creating the profile for them. So I'll select this and this. Then I'll click add. Then at the next step, this is checked and this is the alignment selected and this is selected. I'll click add. Then I'll click draw in profile view. Once I click draw in profile view, next step I won't do NPD. I'll not click create profile view. I'll not do the profile. So this profile now will now show the natural ground level, the existing ground level on site. So if you go on profile, this is the natural ground level you see on site. So this is now my profile now. The profile of my road now. My vertices is now showing my what existing ground now. So initially what I was explaining that if I venture now, this preview now, if I venture now, I take this my alignment now outside this border. You see that at this point when we have this data display, those data will display because my alignment goes outside. Let's do something. Audio. Hello. If paraventure, my alignment now should go outside the border now. Let's say I drag this alignment like this now and take it outside this border now. Let's watch my profile here now. It's showing that here have been captured.
They are all showing what? The existing ground elevation. These are the existing ground elevation. I have not drawn my finishing ground level or my formation ground level. So this is actually my existing ground. The existing ground, 52.14. You can see 52.14, 52.14. So if for adventure now, I now pick this alignment now and I drag it outside the border. Now watch, let's go and let's you can see there now, it's showing that the values are not captured because outside the border there was no data capture. The surveyor didn't extend this and that is data capturing to that axis, that area. But it's outside what the surface, the boundary created. That's why it's that on this my profile, you see that the values they are showing so that of no existing no elevation was captured. Hello? So on this point now, you can see now it's showing now that this place are showing what? No data was captured, showing the blank because my alignment went outside my border, outside the boundary the surveyor established on ground, the TBMs, locations, and the area he covered. If peradventure, hello? 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 So if peradventure now, let me go back and repeat what I just did. Let me do a Control Z command. So what I love is that if you have established, if the surveyor have established his court is because taking that is out on ground, is established steps, TBMs, and all the boundaries pertaining to that road, pertaining to the area you want to locate your road. Let's say this is my what they call the border I've created now. This is the area I covered in capturing this data. If peradventure I should take my alignment outside this border, watch what will happen on this. See all these values that are showing the existing ground, existing ground levels showing on the grid here. If peradventure now I now say I carry my alignment, I click on my alignment and I took my alignment outside the border, and I go outside the border like this. You see that on this grid here, this place will be showing what no existing ground levels, no data was captured. So it will show all the values are blank, that you have gone outside the boundary, yes, please. So you have to ensure that when your alignment should be within the boundary you're working on. So I'll do a Control Z command back and take it back to place it where initially. So you can see now the data analysis. This point now, this points are showing what the existing ground level now. This one I should be existing level on ground now, the natural level on ground. So these values are what the existing ground level now. So the next point I've got, I will now do what? I will now draw my finished ground level. This is when the experience now comes to play. Try to do your cut and fit. Your cut and fit to balance your existing ground level. Meanwhile, before you might have done your cut and fit, you might have done what you might have go to site and do your soil investigation. Know where the soil is good and know the depth you are cutting. So this formation level now will determine this stuff I'm doing as my formation level now will determine my formation level of my road. I'm about to do now. This is where the experience now comes into play now. So how will I do that? I'll still repeat the same step now. There's a way you can do it automatically using Civil 3D. It's the same thing as make your alignment. For me, I prefer using a line to play with it. What I've done with a line, I'll play with it and I'll now trace, trim, extend, join, and connect them together. Let's say if I'm to go to profile now. If I'm to go to my profile, now to create my formation level, my finishing level. I'll say profile creation 2. I'll click on profile creation 2. Then it's asking me to select a profile view I'm working on. I'll select this profile view, which is this one here now. When I select this, I will now click OK. When I click OK now, it will now take me to what? Profile layout tools. So on this profile layout tools now, I will now come to this and say draw straight with curve. Wherever I'm having a straight, target to put a curve for me. I'll click this now. So with the first of all, I will now come and check my curve settings first. You can see based on that feather manual, you can see the minimum K values here, 50. And the length of the curve is what? For a create curve, 150, sack of 150. Based on a very high manner, if I join a road, we now check and input the values. 50, 50 is okay. That one, if they specify 35 and 50. So let's leave it at default. We click OK. So we'll now come to this point and check draw straight curves. When I click draw straight curve, I'll now come and I'll now start drawing my finished ground level. Try to follow the existing ground terrain, how it's looking like. Go. If I'm coming down like this, now what am I doing now? I'm introducing what? A cut here now. You have to cut from here to here. So in how much I are drawing this is where the explain that when you try as much as possible to limit your cut and your fit. Let not to go at a longer distance and start cutting. You will now hold the materials back and the cost of transporting it and this and all. So you factor that into place. So I'll now come and say, okay, fine. This is my distance. I will not try and flow this. I will try and flow the existing ground terrain high like flow it high is like. So I will come and say, okay, I will go. The way that is I'm trying to do it. I will come out. This I'm putting here. I will go again. You can see these are parts of flowing the existing ground. How it is. Just to repeat the meet my cord. Can come, drop, then I will go. Now, so at this junction now, I will now click enter. So you can see I'm having two particular columns here now. My K value 150, the net of my curve 150. That's not the caption from the K value 392, the net of my curve 150. And my gradient here is what? 0.81%. And this one is what? Minus 1.87%. You can see this is what? 0.4. So at this junction now, you can see this is my existing ground and this is my information level. So what this entails, I'm having what? A field to get to this level here. Likewise, this one as well. I'm having gradual field. I'm having here a cut down here at this stage, at this point now, cut down to get to this level. Then I'm having a cut here, and here I'm having a feed. Here I'm having a cut. So this is how you do it automatically. Let's say I'm trying to using it automatically. So there's a way you can still do it using your line and just like how did for our horizontal alignment as well. We can do this. I'll pick my line, a line. If I pick a line, I'll now go. I'll pick my line. I'll use my line to get it perfectly well. I'll go okay. So I'm going like doing forward. I'll come. I can now come. Okay, I'll drop this to limit my cut and field. I will go. I'll use a line as well. I can drop. Then I'll use a line and go to the end and click. So this, like, if you are doing a design now, if I'm doing this, what they call this a vertical alignment now, we're not expected to have the same values. You can try to where you can have your own, we have a different cut and we cannot achieve at the same. It's not like structural design you achieve at the same. So if you're doing structural design, if you model such a way and do structural design perfectly well. A road design, you can have different values, but the major thing is to achieve, let your design be to limit your cut and your feed. Not if I'm doing this, I'm cutting at the distance of like 6 meters down. If it's a terrain that around you to cut down 6, you have to do it. You have to go down and cut down the 6 meters down if you're doing it. So it depends on the terrain you are working on. So the characteristics I've used a line to draw my alignment the way I want it to look like. The next bit of code I'll now select the line. I'll now select the line and give them different colors. I'll say go to properties, looks like the same thing as well. Give them different colors. So if I'm having this now, I can now do a match property and match them. Match the version I'm having. So if I'm done with this, then the next one I will now go to profile. I'll say profile creation tool. I'll select the profile. Then I'll click OK. When I click OK, I'll now come at this point and select draw straight with. So this one will now make my work faster a bit. I'll now come, click, and trace across the line I'm drawing. Let's go trace. Snap at that point. Snap at that point, and then just snap at the end point. And click enter. So automatically now I've done a vertical alignment now. So I'm done with this now. The next point of call is these lines are still showing. What will I do now? I want to take the line out. I don't want this my line, the line I use as a guide. I'll select this my profile. Then I'll go to there's a place we call raise or lower PVI. I can try to raise or lower my PVI. If I click raise or lower PVI, select raise. If I'm going up, I'll do what? 0.5. If I'm raising it by 0.5, 0.5, I'll click OK. So I've raised my profile now. I can now select this. Then I'll delete this. I can take this line that serves as a guide for me. I'll delete this. then I'll delete this as well. So to take it back to the initial stage it here before, I'll select this, then I'll go to raise or lower PVR. This time I will now input what? It's a coming down minus 0.5. I'll click OK. So to come back to the initial stage, so I've now gotten my vertical alignment. So the next point of corner is now I will now update this my profile view. Now you see they are still showing what the existing ground 56.66, 56.66, 56.21, 56.21. So I will now update this to show that let the first one be my finishing ground, and this be my existing ground. So I will now select this now. I'll select the profile. Once I select the profile, I will now go to what profile view properties here. I'll select profile view properties. I selected a profile. I go to profile view properties. So from that profile view properties, I will now go to what? I'll go to bands. I'll select bands here. So once I'm on bands, I will now drag this my line to the end of this here now. You can see my profile 1, my profile 2 is showing what? Surface represents what the existing ground. So I will now change this one now. This is my profile to be my what? Layout. So the layout I just draw now, I draw now is the finished ground. I'll change this my profile 1 to be my what? Layout. And my profile 2 should be my what? Surface, the existing ground. So I will now click apply and OK. So once I go back to my this thing, I said it has now updated, showing me now the first one here now is my what? The finish, and this is my existing. So this is showing the finish, and this is showing the existing. 56.30 is the finish. That is the blue line here. And the red one is showing what? The existing ground, 56.29. So it's showing that I'm feeling. It's showing that I'm feeling to get to what? This level here. And I'm feeling to get to that level. And if we come to this side here now, or this change here now, you see that this one is what? 55.57. This is what? 55.69. So showing that what? I'm cutting down to get to this level. I'll cut down to get to this level. And see if you trace the grid and go up, you see now I'm cutting. Minor cut and get to this level. If we go to this side as well, you see this is 55.051. This is 55.234. So showing them what I'm feeling to get what? To this level. So this is how you draw your vertical. So let me still repeat the vertical alignment. Let me still repeat the vertical alignment. The vertical alignment again. Let me rush on what you like a recap of what I just did from the start to this point. Yeah, like a recap. So what I did was we imported our point. If we go to points, we imported our points. We imported our points. It was like a recap of what we have done up to this stage. And I went to here, I imported the points. I click this open. And I selected this. And I add point came to this side, I give it the point of the name. PR all points. And I click OK and OK. And I did a zoom command Z enter, then E enter as well. The next point of call, I went and I modified my points. Select the point. I went to point group properties. Then I came to this side and reduced my text height. Make this to be what? 0.5. I give it a marker sign, I click apply and OK. And I went to my point label style, repeat the same thing as well, and make the text height to be 0.5 as well. Then my point number, text height as well to be 0.5. And my point elevation, the text height as well to be 0.5. And I click apply and OK. And I click apply and OK. Once I'm done with this, I've reduced the text height and so that it will be visible. Then the next one, I'll go to the one with fit initially, which I've done. Go to point, I imported the center line of my points. Click import. click on this. I click on this, the center line. I click open. Then I'll come to this. I select the point as the file format as well. NZ, add to point group. I'll give the point group a name. CR, center line. Then I'll click OK. Then I'll click OK. Then OK, showing the point exist. Next point of contact, I'll now go to surface. I selected my surface, this surface here on my perspective glass. Click surface. I right click and say create surface. Like I just click OK automatic. So a box sign will be added here. And then I'll expand my box sign. And this is the surface name of surface 1. I'll expand my surface. Then I will expand definition. So when I expand definition, I'll go to point group. I will right click and say add point group. This one I'll select the whole data, not the one I fitted. Initially, what I explained initially, I'll select the whole data. This is the whole data. This. I'll click apply and OK. So the surface will now be created. So once the surface is created, then I'll now select the surface. This is surface here now. Then I'll go to surface properties and say, I click on surface properties here. Then I'll say, I need the border to be displayed only. I don't want the contours to be displayed. I'll click apply and OK. So I click apply and OK. So the next point of call, I'll now go to the point. I'll select the whole point data. I'll right click and I'll go to properties. So on the properties tab, I will ensure that this is not displayed, and this as well is not displayed for the whole data. And I'll click apply, and I just want my center line to be displayed only. So once it's displayed, I'll now select to now the next step of point, of course, now to draw my horizontal alignment. My alignment. I'll now select a line, pick a line, and I'll use the line as a guide. I'll select this. Then I'll go down. If I'm going like this, I'm going outside the couple points. I'll select this. If I'm done with this, I'll press pick a line as well. Select this line as well. And I'll go. Just like I explained initially, if you're selecting the lines randomly and inputting multiple points, you have to let your list be at a longer level, your curve be at a longer distance, not a shorter distance. I'm driving and translating to a curve. But if it's a terrain that surrounds you, that the curves have to just follow you don't have to put it. And ensure you put the speed signs and all for them that there's multiple curves on that road. The driver will try to be cautious, in the speed limit and all. So I'll say I will extend this now. Select this. I will extend. Select the line, right click and extend to this. And I will now trim this off. I'll say trim, right click. Now trim this off. So the next point of corner, what I did, I gave this a different color. All right, click with the properties. So I'll say, I give this a yellow color, I'll click close. Once I'm done now, why am I giving a different color so that I can be able to snap at the points where they both meet or intersect. So the next point of color, I will now go to what? I will now go to alignment. I'll now say create alignment from object. So I'll select, next point of color, I'll use a polyline and trace across the line. I'll trace across this and this. So the next point I will now go to alignment, create alignment from object. I'll select the object. You can see it doesn't highlight the whole line. Now I'll now click enter key. If this is my direction, I'm going to click enter to accept. Once I click that, I can give my alignment again. Let's say road 1. I will now come to this. The next point I will now come to alignment label set. And I'm sure I change this from no label to major, minor, and geometry points. Then I'll now come to this box. This box has a pencil sign. And I'm sure I change the major section. Let them be perpendicular with the tick, not parallel with the tick. So I'll change this to be perpendicular with the tick. I'll click OK. I'll make my major stations to be at 100-meter interval. The minor one should be at 25 meters interval. So I'll click apply and OK. So I'll now input my default radius. Since the federal highway and it is a design speed of 300 km per hour, my default radius should be at 300 meters, minimum radius. So I'll click OK. So it should now convert the line to what? An alignment. So the next point of corner, I will now go to alignment and click on create offset alignment. So I'm done creating data. I will not. It has asking me to select an alignment. I will not click that and select the alignment, which is this one. I'll click OK. So I will now go to this place. I'm having this offset name template. I will now select this one to be what? Carriageway, CW, carriageway. So I will now input my carriageway distance from the left, from the center line, 3.65. Then I'll spend 3.65. And I'll click OK. So it's now this thing will now be carried out. So I will now go to, I can see repeat express, but I'll go to alignment, click alignment, I'm having a drainage. I'll select enter. I'll select someone, I'll select the center line. My alignment is, I'll click OK. I'll name this one out the drainage line, DR. And my name is 4 meter. I'll click next one at 3.65 plus 1. The center line is 4. This one as well is 4. Put left and right 4. I'll now click OK. So if I'm done with this now, let's say I want to generate my, what they call it, my report instantly. I will now go to toolbox. When I go to toolbox, I'll go to report manager. I'll expand my report manager, and I'll go to incremental chain agent. And I'll right click and say execute. When I say execute, I will now say make my intervals about 25 meter. I will now say create report. So these are now my reports. So I can now send this to my surveyor. So if I'm done with this, then I will now the next point of corner, I will now close this. So I can now say okay. So I'm done with the next point of corner, I will now go and say okay. Let me create my what? My profile now. So I'll go to profile. I'll say create profile from surface. So this is my road one, my road. That's what I explained. If I'm working on multiple roads, you just have to come, select the road and match the surface. So this is my road one. So I'll select this and select the surface. This surface. Then I'll add them, match them together. Add. So it will now be shown that I would added that would match. And I'll now click draw in profile view. Once I click draw in profile view, next point of call, I will now go and just click create profile view instantly. Create profile view. So I'll now drop my profile view on the screen. So this now displayed my what? My existing ground level now showing on the ground. This is now my existing ground level. So I will now the next point I will now drop my what? My efficient level. So I will not use a line, like I said, I use a line as a guide, or you can use automatic. So I'll pick a line, and those trace. And when I'm doing this, I will show that load the existing ground level as much as possible. Load the existing ground like to limit my excess, to limit my cut and my fill. Try to try and balance to limit the excess of cut and fill. But for the existing ground level, I'm going down like this. Unless I'm going down like this. I'm here now. Put it down to get to this level I am here now. This level. So I'll put the existing ground level to like this. No boss. Okay. This is going like that. And we'll go. This is when I experience that comes to reach your pot and you feel. I'll not go, okay. And we can't have the same values. We are doing the same. Can't balance and reach this is pot and your feel. I will now come and say okay like this now. If I'm putting this like this, I will now come and say okay. This peer data set, I will not select the peer data set like this. I'll right click and go to properties. Otherwise, I'll now come to this side and select and give it a different color. So why am I giving a different color? So I can able to snap at those points where they intersect. So I will now go to profile. I will now say profile creation. So my profile creation, I started to select the profile. This is the profile now. And I'll click OK. So a profile layer will now be displayed. I will now come to this point and select draw straight report. When I'm having two student meeting, enter introduce a sag, a crest curve. I'll select this now. So I will now come and trace the line accordingly. I'll go. I'll go. I'll go. And I'll click at the extreme end. So once I'm done, I'll also so automatically it will now calculate my gradient, my K values, and then my K values, the length of my curve, and and all. So this, if I arrange it now, I'm going down. If I arrange it now, but then you now, I have a gradient of 7%. Down straight. So that my K value will be going down, showing that what it entails is that the road is not as safe. It's not how will I put it? It's not the gradient is much. So to balance that now, I will now raise it up to balance. That's why we're doing that cut and fill. So if you are going down to the steeper slope, your K value will be reducing. If you are going down higher, you are trying to balance the cut and your fill. K value will be going perfectly well to be increasing. So once the gradient is much, calculate this gradient, the first one and the second one, this, and calculate the value based on what you have here now. And these are manual. These are manual here now. So you can beat on the manual. And the manual, so you can use the two the steeper the gradient, if it's going down, this thing, the gradient is much, the lower your K values. So if you are done with this, like the rest of the product, I'll select this now. Vertical line. I now go to raise or lower. That's why it decides to still raise your vertical curves. You can decide to raise it. So if you are raising it, you can decide to raise it. So if I raise it, I raise guy, and raise it like 5. I'll click OK. So I raise it by 50 cm now. You can see now. So I will now select this now and delete the line as like this. Like this. So what this entails is all through now, what this entails I'm having all through now, I'm having all through. You can see I'm having a all through here now. All through, I'm having a 50. So now, to bring it back, I'll select this and I'll go to what? Minus. Take it back to level minus 0.5. Where it was initially. I'll click OK. So it comes down back. Once it comes down back now, these are values of my grid here and still showing what? Still showing what the existing level of both of them. 6.6, 56.3. It has not actually reflected this value that I was doing now. What would I do now? Select the profile now. Then I'll go to profile view properties. Once I go to profile properties, I'm not trying to sign from here to the end. This is my profile one. So profile one, I'm having 2 lines. Then I'm profile one. I'm going to change this line now. The layout one. That blue line and the finished line is called layout there now. It's the layout. Profile two should be the existing ground, which is the surface one. I will not click on apply and OK. Once I open it, now you updated here now, showing that this is what they finish and this is the existing ground, this is the finished level. So 56.28 and 56.20. So I'm having what a field to get to this level. If we come to this side here now, 56.064, 55.53. I'm having what I will cut down to get to this level. So the server will now peg on site now, they will now peg the difference in level. Cut the difference in level. If I'm going down minus sign, I'm going up plus sign to backfill or to cut down. So at this junction now, we'll stop at this point for today so that you guys can go and practice and get to this point. So by next, if we have anything, we'll now go back and come back and revise what we